Hello and welcome back to Revenge Handler. I'm Mike, and I hope you are having a wonderful day. Today I have a story for you from the pros. I know you're going to enjoy it. Let's go ahead and jump right in. This story comes to us from Reddit, and I have to warn you, he found out exactly what she thought of him while she was sitting on another man's lap. After you hear this one, drop a rating in the comments out of 10. How good is this revenge? Let's see what everyone thinks. If you're new here, hit subscribe. This channel is built for people who believe that karma always finds its way. And save this channel. Bookmark it, because when betrayal comes to you, and it will, you'll want to know exactly how to handle it. That's what we're here for. She was sitting on another man's lap, in a room full of their mutual friends, looking him dead in the eye, smirking. He set her drink down on the table next to them, turned around, and walked out without saying a single word. No scene, no tears, no begging, just the door closing behind him. And that quiet, that one moment of silence, was the beginning of everything she was about to lose. His name was Alex, and 2 years before that night, he was exactly the kind of man most people wish they had in their corner. He met Emily at a mutual friend's barbecue. She was impossible to miss. Vibrant, loud with her laugh, the type who pulled the whole room toward her without trying. Alex was the opposite. He was a guy in the background, making sure nobody's drink ran dry, keeping an eye on the grill, handling the practical things that actually kept the night running. They clicked immediately. She was fresh out of bad breakup, raw and unsteady, and Alex was there, fully there. He listened to her vent about her ex for hours. He helped her move into a new place when she couldn't afford movers. He covered her rent for 2 months when she lost her job at a boutique downtown. Without hesitating, without making it a deal, without holding it over her. She called herself a free spirit, a social media coordinator chasing gigs and dreaming big. In practice, a lot of that meant scrolling Instagram, while Alex handled everything that needed handling. He didn't mind. He thought that was what love looked like, showing up every time without keeping score. He canceled plans with his friends when she needed him, drove across the city at midnight when she had a bad day. When she got the flu last winter, he took time off work, brought her soup and medication, sat through every episode of shows he couldn't stand just to keep her company. She teased him for being too nice. He took it as a compliment. They talked about moving in together fully. Maybe a trip to the coast. He wasn't pushing for anything dramatic. He just saw something real being built, and he was committed to building it right. She told him he was her rock. He believed her. But even then, the cracks were already there. He just wasn't looking for them. The girls' nights that stretched until 3 a.m. The way she come home smelling like excuses. The snapping whenever he asked a simple question. You're smothering me, Alex. I need space. The subtle comparisons that had started creeping into conversations. Jake from work is so spontaneous. Always planning trips. Always living in the moment. Alex knew who Jake was. The startup guy who posted gym selfies and talked about crypto like it was his calling. He didn't think much of it at first. Jealousy wasn't his style. But the feeling built slowly. The quiet suspicion that he was her safety net while she was shopping around for something more exciting. Comment what you would have done if you started to feel this way. Drop it below. I want to read every single one. He should have listened to that feeling. The party was at their friend Mike's house. Casual, 20 people, beers and music, and the kind of evening that should have been nothing. Emily had been cold all week, glued to her phone, distant, distracted, but she insisted they go together. It'll be fun, she said. They arrived, and she was off immediately, drifting toward the crowd while Alex grabbed their drinks. He spotted her across the room, laughing with Jake. He told himself it was nothing. He talked to Mike about work. He kept himself busy. He kept his cool. An hour in, he looked over. She was sitting on Jake's lap, Jake's hand on her thigh, the two of them whispering. People were noticing. Eyes were sliding toward Alex to gauge his reaction. His face went hot, but he didn't storm over. He walked over quietly, set her drink down on the table next to them, and asked calmly, "Emily, what's going on?" She looked up at him and smirked, like she'd been waiting for it. Don't be dramatic, Alex. I'm allowed to have options. You're always so predictable. Jake gets it. He lives in the moment. Jake chuckled, didn't even look at him. Yeah, man. Lighten up. She kept going. We've been together 2 years, but honestly, you hold me back. I need someone who challenges me, not just someone who pays the bills. Monogamy is outdated. I thought you were cool with me exploring. He had never said that. Not once. Not even close. You're sweet, Alex. But sweet isn't enough anymore. Jake and I, we click. You should find someone more your speed. The room felt smaller. Every eye in the place on him. The humiliation was physical, like heat spreading from his chest to his face. And all he said was, okay, one word. He nodded once, picked up his jacket, and walked out the door. No argument, no scene, no begging, just attachment. Rate this 1 out of 10 in the comments. I want your number. No explanation needed, just a number. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit it now, because you are not going to want to miss where this goes. In the Uber home, his phone exploded. Text after text. Are you seriously leaving? Grow up, Alex. This is why no one takes you seriously. You run away. She was already rewriting it. Already making herself the reasonable one and him the problem. He stared at the screen. Then he blocked her number. Simple. Clean. Final. He watched the city lights go past and let the silence settle. He got back to his apartment, poured a drink, sat in the dark. The confusion hit first. Did he miss the signs? Had he been blind this whole time? But underneath it, something else was forming. Something quiet and hard and new. He wasn't going to beg. He wasn't going to argue. He was going to disappear from her life. So completely that the absence itself would be the answer. Around 3 a.m., the banging started. Alex, open up. We need to talk. Her voice slurred. She'd kept the party going after he left. He stood in his apartment, phone in hand, and he did not move. She pounded harder. I didn't mean it like that. Jake was just fun. You're overreacting. Then the crying started. He heard her slide down against the door. Please, Alex. I'm sorry. Let me in. The old version of him. The guy who drove across town at midnight, who stayed through the flu, who covered the rent. That version wanted to open the door. He felt it. He was honest enough to admit that. But then he remembered her on Jake's lap. The smirk. The word she chose in front of every one of their friends. And he turned off the light, went to bed, and let her sit with it. By sunrise, she was gone. She left a crumpled note. Call me. We can fix this. He crumpled it further and threw it in the trash. That morning, he changed the locks. Then he started boxing up her things. Clothes, makeup, the necklace he'd given her. He didn't rush. He just put it all in a box and closed the closet. He wasn't wallowing. He was processing. There's a difference. And slowly, quietly, the life he'd been putting on hold started coming back into focus. Save this channel. Bookmark it. Because the day someone gives you a reason to need this playbook, you'll already know exactly where it is. The silence that followed was sharp at first. Mutual friends texting. Heard about the party, you okay? He kept it short. Yeah, moving on. He didn't badmouth her to anyone. That wasn't him. He hit the gym. He called the friends he'd canceled on too many times. He signed up for the online course he'd been putting off for a year. Small steps. But they stacked. What he didn't know yet was that Emily's options were collapsing faster than she could count them. It came out through mutual friends, without him asking. The party fallout had spread. Everyone had seen it. Emily had jumped straight into things with Jake, moved some of her stuff into his place within a week, posting vague stories about new beginnings and living free. Their circle saw the red flags immediately. Jake was charmed at parties and erect behind closed doors. Unstable work history, always between gigs. A reputation for burning through money on things that never paid off. Emily quit her job at the startup impulsively. She said she needed time to explore her passions with him. 6 weeks in, It unraveled completely. Jake showed who he was. Verbally abusive. Picking fights over nothing. She started showing up to brunches looking drained, making excuses, covering for him. Then the real blow landed. He used her, drained what little savings she had on trips that were really just his bar tabs, then cheated on her with someone from his gym, dumped her without warning, and kicked her out with nothing. She ended up on a friend's couch, broke, isolated. Her reputation hit the ground hard too. The people who defended her at the party, saying she was just finding herself, stopped defending her when the full picture came out. She lost client work because the drama had spread and people didn't want to be associated with it. Alex found out and felt nothing except confirmation. He dodged something that would have taken years off his life. He landed a small promotion at work, started hiking on weekends, went on a few casual dates, met someone kind, straightforward, no games. He called her Sarah. The confusion from that night had long since burned away into clarity. Emily's betrayal wasn't about him. It was her chaos, and it had fueled his rebuild instead of his bitterness. Then the reconciliation campaign started. 2 months after the party, an unknown number lit up his phone. "Alex, it's Emily. I messed up big time. Can we meet?" He didn't respond. Blocked it. Another number the next day. "Please just hear me out. Jake was a mistake. You're the only one who ever really cared." Blocked. Then the calls. Voicemail stacking up. "Alex, pick up. I know you're there. I was stupid. Options. That was dumb. I need you back in my life." Her voice cracking, fully expecting him to fold the way he always had before. He said nothing. Her friends got involved. "Hey, Emily's really hurting. You should talk to her. She regrets everything." Then her family. Her mother calling from a number he recognized. "Alex, honey, Emily's in a bad place. You broke her heart walking out like that. Be the bigger person and give her another chance." He kept it short. "Mrs. Thompson, we're done. Please don't call again." Blocked. The emails came next, long, desperate, detailing what Jake had done, calling Alex her safe place, asking to start over. He didn't reply. She showed up at his workplace, waiting in the lobby with puffy eyes. He told security to send her away. The desperation flipped to anger fast. The voicemails turned nasty. "How dare you ghost me like this? After all we had. You're heartless, Alex. No wonder I needed options. You're boring and cold. Back to the script. Flip it on him. Make him the villain. The one who owed her something." Her sister texted, "My sister's falling apart because of you. Man up and talk to her." He responded once. Emily made her choices. Respect mine. Then blocked her too. He wasn't reacting. He wasn't celebrating. He was just already somewhere else entirely. Drop your score below. Out of 10. How clean was this? Leave it in the comments. And share this with someone who needs to hear it today. Subscribe if you haven't, because we cover every angle of how karma works. And save this channel. Not for today. For the day someone gives you a reason to use it. That day will come. Last weekend, a mutual friend's birthday gathering at a bar downtown. Alex almost skipped it. Not because he was hiding, but because he knew there was a chance a pass would walk through the door. He went anyway. Showed up with Sarah. New outfit. Promotion energy. The kind of ease that only comes from a man who genuinely stopped caring what the wrong person thinks of him. Friends greeted him like he'd been gone too long. Looking sharp man. Then Emily walked in. Disheveled. Hair messy. Clothes like she hadn't slept. Eyes scanning the room until they found him. She made a straight line. "Alex, thank God. We need to talk privately." Her eyes landed on Sarah and narrowed. The room went quiet the way rooms do when everyone senses something is about to happen. Alex sipped his drink. "Emily, there's nothing to say." She pushed. "Please. I realize now you were the one. Jake was toxic. He hit me. Took everything. I was wrong. Monogamy with you. That's what I actually want. Forgive me. Come back." He looked at her for a moment, not with anger, not with satisfaction, with the calm of a man who had already settled his own score privately, long before this moment. You chose Jake. You humiliated me in front of everyone we know. I've built something better since then. Your problems are not mine. But I love you. Don't do this. Let's fix us. There is no us. You taught me to value myself. That's actually the most useful thing that ever came from knowing you. But we're done. He turned back to the group. The conversation resumed. She stood there, tears starting, face crumpling, then she left. Friends said later she lingered outside the bar, crying the same way she'd sat outside his apartment door until sunrise. But Alex was inside, laughing with Sarah, dancing a little, completely at peace with every decision he'd made since that night. She sat on another man's lap and told him he was too predictable to keep. He didn't need her to hurt. He just needed her to be irrelevant. And she was. That's the story. Drop your rating out of 10 in the comments right now. I want to see the numbers pile up. Share this with someone who's currently being someone's safety net while they shop around for better. Subscribe if this is your first time here. You found the right channel. And save it. Bookmark it. Because the day the betrayal hits, you won't be searching for advice. You'll already be here.